Imagine watching a professional football match where a player intercepts the ball, turns towards his own team's net, and buries a vicious strike past his own goalkeeper, and then he throws his arms up to celebrate. If that sounds bizarre, the reaction of the opposing team is even stranger. Instead of cheering the free point, they look completely panicked. They suddenly turn around and sprint as fast as they can towards their own net, desperately trying to score an own goal themselves. This leaves the first team in a completely absurd position. They are now actively defending both goals on the pitch at the exact same time, frantically slaying to stop the other team from scoring. This isn't a hypothetical. These exact events played out in the final minutes of a 1994 Caribbean Cup qualifying match between Barbados and Grenada. The FIFA rulebook functions as a reactive patch log, a collection of emergency fixes designed to stop players from mathematically hacking the sport's logic. Athletes are rational economic agents. If you hand them a system with a loophole, they will find the exploit and use it to the absolute limit. During the 1982 World Cup, West Germany and Austria faced off in their final group stage match. Because of results earlier in the week, both sides knew that a 1-0 victory for West Germany would guarantee that both teams advanced. Just 10 minutes after kickoff, West Germany scored. With the ideal scoreline secured, both teams simply stopped playing. For the remaining 80 minutes, they effectively entered a non-aggression pact to protect the result. This diagram maps the passing trajectories from that match. Notice how 58% of second-half passes went backward or sideways. This collusion led FIFA to mandate simultaneous kickoffs for final group games, preventing teams from rigging the math. Teams soon found a new way to weaponize the clock. At the 1990 World Cup, Ireland's goalkeeper Packy Bonner demonstrated the ultimate stalling tactic. Whenever Ireland felt pressure, they would pass the ball back to Bonner, who would pick it up and wait for the opposition to retreat. He legally held the ball for a total of 6 minutes during a single match against Egypt, killing the game's momentum. The 1992 back pass rule closed this loophole by forbidding goalkeepers from handling deliberate kicks from teammates. This change transformed the goalkeeper from a static shot stopper into a mobile distributor who has to manage the ball with their feet under pressure. Managing the rules is equally difficult across language barriers. In the early days of international tournaments, referees had to verbally communicate fouls, which often led to chaos if a player simply pretended not to understand they were being sent off. This led to the invention of the yellow and red card system. The design was inspired by traffic lights, yellow for caution and red for a complete stop. But even visual tools rely on human memory. In 2006, referee Graham Paul mistakenly issued 3 yellow cards to the same Croatian defender before finally sending him off. He simply lost track of the count in the heat of the match. Because humans are prone to these errors, the rulebook requires structural fail-safes. This is why a match must be abandoned immediately if a team drops below 7 players. It is the system's way of preventing a complete administrative collapse. Even the most secure rules cannot account for every environmental anomaly. In 2009, Sunderland's Darren Vent fired a shot toward the Liverpool net just as a fan-thrown beach ball drifted into the box. The match ball struck the inflatable, veered away from the goalkeeper, and rolled into the net. Under the laws of the game, the referee should have stopped play immediately for a dropped ball. Instead, he panicked and allowed the goal to stand, awarding Sunderland a match-winning point because of a pool toy. The fallout was immediate. The referee was demoted to a lower league for the error, and the beach ball itself was eventually donated to the National Football Museum in Manchester. These incidents reveal the friction between the written law and an official's ability to process chaos in real time. Despite the laws covering outside interference, the human element turned a bizarre deflection into an official result. This brings us back to the 1994 match between Barbados and Grenada, where the math of the tournament finally broke the logic of the sport. The organizers had implemented an experimental rule. Any match tied at 90 minutes went to extra time, where the first golden goal would count as 2 goals for tournament tiebreakers. Barbados needed to win by at least 2 goals to advance. But with just 3 minutes left in normal play, they were only leading 2-1. By scoring on themselves, they ensured a 2-2 tie. This forced the match into extra time, where they could chase the double-value golden goal they needed to qualify. Granada quickly realized that a one-goal loss would still let them advance. They spent the final minutes trying to score an own goal on themselves to end the match at 3-2, while Barbados was forced to defend both nets at once to keep the game tied. Barbados held on, reached extra time, and scored the golden goal to win. FIFA cleared them of any wrongdoing, ruling that the team had simply played a poorly designed system optimally. The football rulebook isn't a static document. It is the record of a 150-year arms race between the rulemakers trying to maintain order and the tactical geniuses who find every glitch in the system.